So between the ages of birth and 8 years old, I had a thyroid condition. I had no idea I had a thyroid condition. Nobody told me I had a thyroid condition. My family didn't know. Even though my father's a medical doctor, a psychiatrist, he didn't know I had a thyroid condition. It was only until recently that I looked at the baby pictures and I saw, indeed, I had myxedema. I had these puffy eyes, puffy face, puffy upper body. That's called mucin that's in the skin. That's due to a thyroid condition. And so, and everybody did agree though that I was an ugly baby. I mean, I kind of looked like a monkey, you know. So that was agreed upon. But nobody was able to diagnose that I had a thyroid condition, because I just don't think that there's enough training on this subject in medical school or most of the medical profession or the holistic healthcare profession for that matter. So as I got older, I started to develop severe acne, and it became so bad that benzoyl peroxide, Retin A, and Cleocin T, these medications, I used them, but they weren't really working too well. I tried rubbing alcohol, I tried changing my diet, I eliminated spicy foods. I had no idea what the heck I was supposed to do. I mean, it didn't make, I didn't know what was causing my acne. I didn't know what the cause was, you see. So, being that I came from a science-oriented background with, well, my family was science-oriented, I wasn't. But being that my father had a science background as a medical doctor, and my mother is an anthropologist, they set up an appointment for me to go to the dermatologist who specializes in skin conditions, as you know. And the dermatologist said, well, the strongest acne medication there is called Accutane. Why don't you try taking the Accutane? So on the label of this medication it said, must not be taken by pregnant women. If taken by a pregnant woman, will cause severe birth defects in the unborn child. Sound pretty strong, or what? Must not spend time in direct sunlight when using this medication. Yeah, seriously. May cause liver damage. I'm pretty sure it said that on the label of the medication as well. So as a 19-year-old with severe acne, though, you don't think about these things. You know the way 19-year-old boys are. I didn't even know what a liver was or where it was or what it did, so I didn't really care if my liver got damaged, because I didn't know anything about what it would do. I was clueless. So I ended up taking the medication. And a short time after, I started seeing floaters in my eyes. I would see, like when it was sunny out and there was a blank wall, like let's say a blue wall or a white wall, if I looked over in that direction, I'd start to see these floaters. And later I found out, and I know now, that those floaters are related to a liver being toxic. Other thing that happened is I got this flushing of my skin. I would get really red, and it said on the label that would happen, on the label of the package, but it was a bit concerning. And so other than that, I didn't have a lot of side effects at the time, but let me continue a little bit. Within just a few years, I started always getting angry at people. The girl I was dating, a couple of the girls I was dating at the time, I'd always yell at them, and I didn't really think anything of it. I just figured they were annoying me and doing things that were getting me upset, and they deserved to be yelled at, so why not yell at them? I had no idea that might have something to do with my liver, but I later found out that the main emotions of the liver are anger, rationality, frustration, aggression, these types of emotions. I have them all here. Anger, resentment, rationality, frustration, aggression. Those are the main ones. Galled, stubborn, emotionally repressed, depressed, indecisive. So it was just not a good thing. Interestingly enough, a couple years later, when I was taking my prerequisite science courses for Los Angeles College of Chiropractic in Whittier, I was lifting some weights, and I tore my pec major sternal division muscle. That's this muscle over here, the pectoralis muscle. I tore that muscle severely. It was a 90% tear, and I needed to get a surgery to reattach the muscle. And luckily, I got the surgery and went to physical therapy, and the physical therapy and the surgery went pretty well, and I was able to continue to use the muscle later, thank goodness. But something really strange happened. learned that both of those muscles relate to the liver. Does it sound like my liver was a little toxic or what? See, according to applied kinesiology, muscles relate to bones, and muscles relate to emotions, and muscles relate to herbs and homeopathy and nutrition, and muscles relate to certain other parts of the body as well, such as organs and glands, like the liver. Important point, okay? So, this was astonishing. This is still astonishing to me today that other healthcare providers have not understood how intricate and connected the different aspects of the body are. So what I'd like to do is just continue to share with you what happened. I was getting really sick when I started graduate school because I had a background in sales, and I also had a background in art, but I didn't have any background in science, math, or advanced mathematics or anything like that. So it was really challenging for me. And I started developing what's called female hormonal imbalances. I was having hot flashes, night sweats, irritable bowel syndrome. I was going to the bathroom like 4 or 5 times a day or more, sometimes 6 or 7, and they were loose stools. I was getting depressed. I had really severe back pain. You would call them fibromyalgia type syndromes, or a fibromyalgia type symptom. I couldn't get to sleep well at night, and I couldn't wake up very well in the morning. It was like I had insomnia and inability to stay asleep. I mean, things weren't going well at all. It was not a good time. So I was having some mild headaches. They weren't so bad, but I was getting depressed. I mean, it was just not good. And so I was looking for somebody to help me. So I started getting these acupuncture treatments and also chiropractic treatments at the school that I was attending. And I was probably getting 5 acupuncture treatments a week, including herbs. And it helped. It kind of kept me afloat, but it didn't really get to the root cause of my difficulty because I never really made dramatic improvements. I was still suffering with going to the bathroom 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day, still feeling depressed, still having trouble getting to sleep at night, still having trouble waking up.